When you're organizing and going through your assets, performing basic searches and smart searches is so important. So let's take a look at this. I'm back at my home screen, and instead of working in one of the bakery demo projects that we've been in during this chapter so far, I'm going to go into my main Ovens of Cappoquin project, which is where we'll be through the rest of the course. I have it here under Recent Projects. If you don't, just go to Open Project and then navigate to it in your exercise files. All right, so I'll open that up, and I'm just going to move my project tab all the way over to the left where I like it. And let's give ourselves a little more room. So I'll select it and press tilde to expand my project panel. Now we know that I have lots and lots of assets. I've got bins inside of bins. Everything is really well organized. But, to be honest, when I'm looking for a particular clip, I'm probably not going to climb through my bin structure like this. Rather, most times I'm probably going to use my search field. Now, right here is the basic search field, and it's a live search. So if I need to find clips with Esther in them, I can just type in Esther. And here it's going to bring up all my assets that reference Esther. And for the most part, this is a very quick and mostly effective way to access these shots. But there are a few caveats. First is a question of accuracy. You see, these types of searches don't just search for clips containing Esther. They also reveal all clips within bins that contain my keyword, for example. So you can see that I have a bin called Esther House, and none of these clips contain the word Esther, but because they're associated with this bin, it gets brought up in this search. Second, searches like this are only single-dimensional. That is, you can't add multiple criteria to this search. And third, it's not permanent. That is, I can't save this search out and create a new one. So if you want to hone in on defining a more accurate search, or if you want a multidimensional search, or if you want to save out a search, then you need to set up a search bin. So there are a few ways to set up a search bin. One is if you have a basic search set up, you can just click on this button here, and a new search bin is created in your project. You can also just right-click and choose New Search Bin, or if you don't have anything within the search field, if this is X'd out, you can just click on the Search Bin button, and then a blank search bin gets brought up. All right, so let's take a look at the search bin that was just created. You can see that right now it isn't entirely accurate. You can see that there's clips in here that don't contain the word Esther. So what I'm going to do is define this a little bit better. I'm going to just right-click on my search bin and choose Edit Search Bin. And then instead of searching through all metadata, let's define that better. So I'm going to search on name, okay? So now this is set up that anything with the name Esther in it is going to be in this search. So I'll say okay. And now everything within this search bin does contain the word Esther. Okay, so that's more accurate, but let's say that I want to set up another search criteria. Again, I'm just going to right-click and choose Edit Search Bin. Let's say that I want to only bring up the audio clips that contain Esther. Okay, so I'm going to search for all the clips that have Esther in the name, and this can be and or, and they have to be audio. So I'm going to change this to media type, and I'm going to type in audio, and okay. And now just the clips that have Esther in them and are also audio files are brought up in this search. Now, another cool thing about search bins is that they're dynamic, all right? So if I have clips that match this after the fact, it will dynamically be added to my search bin. So say I go into music, and I'm going to just duplicate one of these music clips, right-click, duplicate, and I'm going to call this Esther's theme. Okay, so now this should match the criteria, right? I'm going to come over down here, and it'll take just a moment. All right, great. You can see that it was added right here, okay? So a very smart way to work, and you can have as many search bins as you want. So I'll set up another one. This time, let's search by name and have Esther, and then we'll do an or, and I'll also search by name, and we'll have Joe, her husband. So now I have a search bin that is casting a wider net. I'll say okay. And here we have all the clips that have Esther in the name or Joe in the name, okay? If you need to delete a search bin, just simply select it and press delete. Again, you're not deleting clips, you're just deleting this search query. All right, so that's using the basic search and search bins, a really nice, useful way to dig in and find exactly what you need as you're going through your assets.